You know how when you watch people train online, doing deadlifts, squats, bench, whatever, you can kind of gauge their height, you know, based on how their feet sit on the floor. Like if a guy's on the bench and he can barely touch his feet to the ground, you can tell, oh, that guy's probably short. He's like 5'3". Or if you're standing on a deadlift bar, you can kind of gauge by the width of it, how tall someone is. You can tell, like, yeah, me, I'm 5'9", you know, average, maybe a little bit below average height. But you can gauge roughly the size of people. When I watch unknown strongman Bryce, when I watch him pick those giant rocks up in his backyard, in his videos, I thought he was around my size, you know, 220, 230, big boy, you know, not little, not big. When I met him, he's enormous. The guy's like 7 feet tall. He's huge. He's giant. So now I'm going back and watching his older videos of him picking those rocks up, and I'm like, how heavy are those things? He said a couple of them are like 400 pounds. Like, it puts things in a different perspective. This guy's an animal. Holy crap. It's interesting, you know, like videos, they don't really tell the whole tale. I went down there and watched him and go, and he's a beast. Oh, man. So, you got the shirt, you got the t-shirt. It's the World Strength Games, St. George 2024. You know, if you guys recall at Worlds, when I competed, I had my identity stolen, and I lost all my money, and I kind of had to fly out there, and I didn't have a rental car or a hotel or anything. I just went, and then figured it out when I got there, and it worked out. You know, it was fine. Well, something very similar happened to Bryce. He flew out to Vegas. I didn't even know he was here. We could have picked him up. We could have accommodated him, but he was stuck at the airport. He had problems getting his rental car. Luckily, St. George from Las Vegas is only a few hours away, so he managed to get there. But I just thought it was interesting. The two guys, two events, almost the same thing happens to them, where they show up and they have no way of, you know, surviving. And yet, everybody comes together. Like, everyone came together and took care of me. Everyone came together and took care of him. It just all works out, and it's a testament to how awesome the strength sports community really is. Now, this is Strongman. It's a much different crowd than powerlifting, but it's not. There's an overlap. I went there. The first thing I noticed is how enormous everybody is. They're just giants, big dudes. They're not too concerned about being cut, you know, if that makes sense. They're big boys. You know, they're not worried about diet too much, it looks like. Very strong, though. Not taking anything away from anybody. Powerlifters, it's the same thing. There's a lot of us that are like that. But I noticed it more so with them. But I noticed there was a few people that I used to train with here in Vegas, and one of them used to be a bodybuilder. He was a professional IFBB bodybuilder, and then he became a powerlifter, and now he's strongman. And I noticed he's got bigger. So talking to him, he said he doesn't like dieting and all the nonsense that's involved with bodybuilding. And I can't say I blame him. The dieting part's really the hardest part, and it's not very healthy for you. There's another event next weekend, April 27th here in Vegas, which he will be hosting. His name is Ronnie Bennigan, and I'm trying to get people that he wants people to show up, because they're trying to get as many people as they can for vendors, and if they have a good showing, they'll be able to get more events. So this is like a preliminary event to see if there's enough interest for them to get more gyms and more meets set up. So I'm going to show up. I don't know the address. He's got to send it to me, but it's here in Vegas. It's on April 27th, and as soon as I get it, I'll let you guys know. So if any of you are in the Vegas area and you want to just pop in and just check out a bunch of apes lifting heavy stuff, we'll see you there. I told them I would do my best to try to support them, and that's what we do, man. They do it for us. There's the strongman guys were always at the powerlifting meets. It was the strongmen, the guys that did the arm wrestling. There was one other group. Olympic lifters. There's like they call it the sport of weightlifting. There was a pretty good presence of those guys there too. Although I have never seen one competition for the sport of weightlifting, and I would love to go, because I think that, to me, that is my favorite lifting. I think there's just so technical, and you have to be so proficient. You know, it's not just strength. There's an art to it. And I'm just mesmerized when I watch these guys throw that weight over their head and they get under it, and it's just a thing of beauty. And then you got powerlifting and strongman, which are like the antithesis, the complete antithesis to Olympic weightlifting, which is grip and rip. And strongman even more so than powerlifting. I found out at this meet, when they're competing, anything goes. You got the weight, let's say you're deadlifting. I had a deadlift fail because I picked the weight up, and right at lockout my grip started slipping. But if I was able to, and the bar kind of went down a little bit, so the lift wouldn't have counted. They red lighted it just based on that little hitch. And it wound up slipping out of my hand, so it wouldn't have counted anyways. But at a strongman event, you can hitch all you want. You can ride that sucker up your knees. You could do the whatever. You could wear straps. You could wear a suit. You could wear springs on your knees. I don't know, like find a bionic suit and weld some legs up. I mean, anything goes. If you can wear it and it can give you an advantage, you can use it, and may the best man win. That's how they are. And there's something visceral and there's something fun about that. You know, when you go to a powerlifting meet, everything is so technical. A guy makes a little stutter step, the lift doesn't count. The guy addresses the bar with his straps and he forgets to unloop them, the lift doesn't count. You know, there's so many technical little tiny rules, and the thought is you have to have standards, and if you don't adhere to the standards, then nothing counts. Like, what's the point of even competing? And then strongman takes a little bit of a different approach. They're like, here's the weight, pick it up, go. What are you talking to me for? Get up, let's go. Oh, you hitched it. You didn't do it right. Oh, you didn't. Whatever, man. The bar went down, bar went up. My kind of people. I like it. On the trip back from St. George, Utah to Las Vegas, one of the friends I competed with at this last competition lives right along the way, so we stopped over there. He hit me up and said, hey, stop in. And it was pretty late, but we stopped in for about an hour. And when I got to talking, his wife brought up the idea of us all going to nationals, which is in New York, upstate New York, in June. And I got to thinking, I'm like, man, another competition, can I do it? I would have about a week of farting around like I'm doing now, and I would have to seriously get after it again. Maybe even do like another Candido 6 week. Do I have that in me? Could I pull that off? Well, I definitely have it in me, but can I pull it off is the question. You know, like, I don't have an abundance of intelligence, so I'm known to do stupid things. But realistically, I don't know, man. That's a short turnaround. But we're tossing the idea up. The other idea I had was Tommy H. I want to do a competition and then go to his nationals and compete with him. And that's something we tossed around, and that's going to be, I believe, what did you say, Louisiana? So that's one I was looking at too. So now we got some paths that are diverging, and I need to make a decision here really quick. The easy thing to do would say, I'm not this year, I'll do it next year. I'm just too old, too tired, too broke down. But then I got that other voice saying, dude, you're trained up already. You're still squatting 545 for reps. You're still benching 350 for reps. You know, you haven't really done much deadlifting, but you know, I'm sure that's, you know, I'm still there. I haven't really lost anything. I've been sick. I lost a little weight. I lost a little strength. But when you start training, that comes back right away. Well, you know, you get your diet right and start doing what we do. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Got the wheels rolling. But I'll tell you what, watching these boys do their thing got me fired up. That's all it takes. That is all it takes. You could be sad, depressed, lonely, whatever, stuck in your own little world. Everything can be falling apart. And for guys like us, all we need to do is see somebody pick something heavy up and do a feat of strength. And just like that, we're back in it. The cheer of the crowd. They had the medals, the awards, just watching. It was really cool being a spectator. So, I don't know, it's fun. It's fun to just like not have a dog in the fight. Does that make sense? There's no stress whatsoever. You can just participate and talk and get to know people and see other people do stuff. You know, when I'm at powerlifting meets and I want to watch other lifters, it's hard because you're doing your thing and you're running back and forth, and you might run in there and get a video real quick and you say, oh yeah, cool. And then you got to run and get your gear on and get ready to go. but just hanging out, chilling, you know, go to the food cart, get some chicken nuggets, sit down, you know, wife got a couple of drinks. We had a good time. It was fun. I got to actually talk to people, and they're amazing. They're amazing people. The Strongman group, they are just fun, laid back, my kind of people. Man, come as you are. It doesn't. They're a little more strict with the qualifications. It's invitational only. So unlike powerlifting, where you can, if you don't have any experience whatsoever, you can enter a local meet, and it doesn't matter what you lift. You just go and participate. And most local meets are set up, designed to facilitate that. They're expecting a handful of new people that have never done the sport before, and they accommodate that. It seemed like at the strongman competitions, a lot of those guys, like, it's not a beginner event by any means. You have to be invited to compete. So there's a high level of competition. So the fact that Bryce finished 5th place is incredible. I think this is his 3rd, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's your 3rd competition. Finishing 5th in a stacked field where they were breaking world records. Magnus von Magnuson was there announcing. They had a couple of really high prominent lifters. There was a guy that did over 1,000-pound yoke carry at the end. It was crazy. There were some big boys. And then you see the picture of me with the guys, and I'm just like a little tiny dude. Hey, kitty. I noticed at the big competition, like Worlds and Nationals, there's 2 types of mentalities. There's the type of lifter who's already got his numbers. He had his big meet, whether it was a local or a regional, whatever. The records are on the book, and he's just going to show up at Nationals or Worlds just to participate. So they're not trying to, you know, do their best. They're just, you know, either the turnaround's too short, and they just want to be there because it's a big event and everyone's going to be there. They just still want to lift. They're not going to break any records. There's no stress. They don't do training. They just show up and lift what they can lift, and they're usually pretty impressive anyways, and nobody really knows the difference. But they're not there to break records. They're just so they could be there, part of the community. And then there's others who will, you know, they'll do the bare minimum to qualify. They'll get their qualifying numbers, and then they'll train their asses off, and they'll go to Worlds or Nationals to just absolutely obliterate the records on the biggest stage in the world. And I try to be part of the first one, where it's like I know I'm a little beat up and run down, and I've been competing back to back to back, and I would just show up and just lift what I can lift and just be like, hey, I'm here, you know. But I don't. This thing takes over, and it just doesn't allow me to shift gears. You know what I mean? It's go or no go, like full throttle. And I wish I could. I wish I could just, you know, do like a guest lift at a meet. Just show up and, you know, throw a token 600 pounds up on the squat and just be like, hey, you know, whatever. But I don't have it in me. So if I do decide to compete, I think, I don't know. It's a lot to think about. I don't have much time. So what do you guys think? You tell me. What would you do? Well, the bottom line is I'm getting better. My digestive issues are resolving themselves. I'm still having some problems. I'm gonna have to see a doctor to figure out what's going on, because I'm just not digesting food properly, and there was something going around. A lot of people were getting sick, and we thought maybe it was salmonella or something, and it could be. It very well could be. The only way I'd have to go to a doctor to get it checked out. But everything seems to be working out, so I'm gonna start getting back after it. I've been toying with lifting heavy, you know, putting like 545 on the squat bar and doing a couple reps and benching 350 for a few, you know, that kind of thing, just maintaining strength, but I'm not really getting after it. But now I think it's time to start training again. I wanted to say, a lot of people have been trying to get a hold of me on Messenger and Instagram, and I don't check those a lot. So my work phone is also my home phone, and I do that for a reason. You used to have like separate work and home. But I noticed over the years, especially in commercial construction, like I have all the contacts that I've ever worked with, going all the way back to like 2003. And in the industry I work in, that's like crucial. That's like, you know, your little Rolodex, and those contacts come in super handy. Whenever I go to a site and I haven't seen a company I've worked with in like 5 years, chances are I have their contact information, and I know people that work for them. So it's been invaluable having all that. But as a result of that, my phone never shuts up. Literally, you can sit there and just watch it, just bing, 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 zzz, 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 new message, your inbox is full, and I get all these notifications, and it's like, oh my god, a certain time of night, I just want to set that phone down. So I have notifications turned off on almost every app, except for like a list of people that I add that I need to absolutely talk to, and it's usually like coworkers and family. Point being, you send me a message on Instagram, and it's crucial that I read it or whatever, and then 2 days later I look at it, I'm like, oh crap. And like Bobby, you've been messaging me and he thinks I'm ignoring him on purpose, and I'm like, dude, stop messaging me on Instagram. Use my phone number. I will get back to you, I promise. I'm not ignoring anybody on purpose. It's just the phone, it never shuts up. I have to put it down. I got a family, and at a certain time, I'm home, it's after work, I don't want to hear it. I turn it off, So I'm just saying, if you guys want to get a hold of me in person, Instagram and Messenger are not. It's not that I won't get your messages. I just don't check them all the time. So, and I try to get back to everybody. I really do. But if you have my personal number, if I'm talking to specific people, you know who you are. If you have my personal phone number, use it. Otherwise, I will absolutely read I do read every single message. I take time and I go through them, and sometimes it takes me a day or two, but I do. But if it's critical, you get either that or you can email me. I check my emails. I guess I'm saying I'm sorry if you feel like I've been ignoring you. It's really not the case. I'm not doing it on purpose. I promise you. I will get back to you. I will. Everybody else, pretty much I try to answer every YouTube comment that I get. My channel's not big enough to where I can't look at all the messages, so you guys can hit me up. You can message me on Messenger and Instagram. I do read them all. I just sometimes don't do it every day, so if that makes sense. I don't know. What else can you say about that? I will get back to you, I promise. I just might take a day or two. That being said, I think I'm going to deadlift today. I don't know. Watching him do that yoke carry, I'm motivated to pick something heavy up. I don't know. Maybe I'll just dig up a flower pot or find some bricks, or I don't know. I'll go. The neighbor's got a Volkswagen. I'll see if I can flip that thing over. Whatever. We're gonna get after it. I love you guys. See you on the battlefield.